Welcome to the Health by Haven podcast. I'm your host, Haven Quinlan. If you're a multi-passionate wellness enthusiast, then you're in the right place. I'm obsessed with learning as much as I can about the wellness world, and I want to share that with you. Each episode will dive into various aspects of health and wellness through inspiring and informative guest interviews with some solo episodes thrown in. Tune in for all things health, and let's have some fun, shall we? Samantha Berven is a caregiver, a professional, a volunteer, and since September of 2025, a half marathoner. In today's episode, we chat with Health by Haven coaching client Samantha all about her running journey. She shares how running went from something she absolutely dreaded to something she wanted to improve. Samantha talks about her slow and steady build from couch to 5K to 10K, and finally getting the itch to run her first half marathon. She discusses injury setbacks and gives us a play-by-play of her first distance race, the 2025 Bluegrass Half Marathon in Johnson City, Tennessee. If you're looking for an inspiring story on how to improve your relationship with running, stay dedicated to the process of getting stronger, and achieve things you once believed impossible, then this story is for you. All right, you guys, today we have a very special guest on the Health by Haven podcast. My friend Samantha is coming on to chat all things running and wellness. So Samantha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for asking me, Haven. I am very honored to be asked to be one of your guests because I'm just a regular Joe Schmo.
No. And I think your story is going to be so relatable for people, but also so inspiring for people who have maybe been thinking about running, or whether it's running or, something else to do with their health. They've been thinking about it for a while and they're not really sure if they're able to do it. I think you're just going to inspire so many people. So let's get down into it. For people who don't know you, do you want to give yourself like a little intro? And then I want to kind of hear about your background pre-running.
Okay, so I am a very busy mom of 5. I work full time. Grew up in Minnesota, live in Tennessee with my family. Not a runner. Running has always been a love-hate relationship. I love how I feel after I run. I hate every part of it, doing it, and the thought of doing it. And have transitioned that mindset to something a lot more positive.
I love it. Well, and like mindset is such a big part of running, right? Like I feel like once you get over the mental hurdle of some of those long runs, that's the hardest part.
Right. Once you do it, once you're going a few minutes in, it gets a lot better.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so let's back it up then. Before you decided, I'm going to become a runner, I'm going to accomplish these big running goals, you talked about how you never liked running. What's like your first memories of running? I mean, I'm thinking back to like when I was a kid in elementary school and had to like run the mile in gym class.
Kindergarten. I can remember being in kindergarten and having to run the mile, and it was horrible. I mean, still traumatized. And that was a very long time ago. I just turned 40. So kindergarten was many years ago. And I can remember having to follow all the kids, do this loop, not knowing where to go, how much my lungs hurt, my legs hurt, and have detested running since then.
That was the origin story.
Right. I think it was spring, so I was probably 6 years old. Have hated it.
Okay. And so did you play any sports growing up?
I danced in middle school and was a cheerleader all throughout high school, but we were not required to run or anything. Yeah, some cardio, endurance, but we didn't have to run. If we could get through our cheers and dance routines, you were good.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of great because I feel like running for so many people, I think we develop a negative mindset towards running because we're like forced to do it as like either training or punishment for other sports, like, oh, you didn't win the basketball game, go run laps at practice. So I'm glad at least you didn't have that in dance or cheer practice.
No, but like I can remember when I was in high school gym class and we had to warm up by running laps and detesting the fact that that was a requirement.
Yeah. Okay. So from going from that all through school, it sounds like starting kindergarten all the way through high school gym class, when did the script start to flip in your head about running?
Oh my goodness. Not till recently. So I I was in the military. I went through basic training with the Air Force and can even remember how horrible the PT runs were and how painful they were. And then I met my husband who liked to go out and run and he'd do the 5Ks. So I really transitioned into wanting to do that with him. Would go to the gym, run on the treadmill. I could get in 4 miles, no problem. And I was comfortable with that. But then I had babies and they change your body. They make things a lot harder. So I hadn't run in quite some time, more than, 30 minutes at the gym here and there. But I really wanted to start focusing on my health and fitness. I've had some, weight loss issues post children as I've aged and know that cardio is good for your body and really started picking up just getting back into 3 miles. I started really pushing it last year with the couch to 5K to really work on building back up because it's 3 miles is a good starting point. And then started transitioning into what kind of goals could I set for myself. And then I met Haven and everything changed.
Oh, stop. Okay, so I love the like mindset shift. It sounds like, having somebody around you who enjoyed running made you kind of think like, oh wait, not everyone hates this. So for people listening, like maybe that's something if they're interested in getting into running, they could find, oh, I have this friend who likes to run. Like maybe let me pick their brain about it. Maybe let me see if I could go on a run with them or to the gym with them. And then it sounds like once you started getting comfortable, running really became your own and you wanted to set goals around it. Is that like a good summary?
Absolutely. Running is a lot more fun when you have people to do it with. It's also a solo thing. So you can go on a run with a group, but you're still in your own element. But you also have somebody to kind of egg you on and encourage you. And I had to keep up with my husband and his 5K journeys. He's like consistently would win his age group.
Oh.
I'm just trying not to die. 5Ks. So that really did help to, aspire to accomplishing the same things he was. And then I just decided I needed my own goals.
Yeah. Well, and I love that. And I know from us working together, I know that you're a very goal oriented person and you like to have that thing on the horizon to work towards. So, do you remember like the first 5K that you decided like for yourself, not like, oh, my husband's starting this and like maybe I'll tag along, but like when was the first one where you were like, I'm setting this goal just for me?
So it's funny. My husband actually stopped running 5Ks when our oldest child beat him for the first time. And that just became like my solo activity or with the kids because getting out with them is a great example. So we've run multiple 5Ks, my children and I together. But I didn't start setting actual 5K goals to get good times until this year.
And I love that it's a family activity for you guys. I think that's a lot of the case for a lot of families for maybe like, the annual turkey trot once a year. Everyone come on out and like half the people are dragging their feet or whatever. But I love that you guys, yeah, you do.
We've done the turkey trot every Thanksgiving for the last 4 years.
I love it.
It is literally me and two of my children, and everybody else stays home. but we really enjoy that morning start. And then
Yeah.
we go home and nap and I cook.
Well, lucky them that they're getting your home cooking. But yeah, it's a great way. I mean, I love to start my holiday like that as well. I actually just love any holiday run, like whether it's organized or not. This is like such a sidebar, but my dad and I started this a while ago. It was his idea. I have to give him credit. But several years back, doing what we call the 100 Christmas trees run. And basically, on Christmas Eve, we would set out on a run together and we couldn't come home until we saw 100 Christmas trees. We had to count.
So that's a lot of running.
It's a lot of running. You start to get strategic about where you know there's good trees. Like in their town at the courthouse, there's like, 50 trees out front because all the different like organizations around town are decorating them. So, you can cheat your way a little bit. But yeah, I love a good holiday run. It just feels extra special. And so I love that you guys do turkey trot together on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
So I didn't grow up in a very sports focused or active lifestyle family. Not that there's anything wrong with that. My parents were raising 7 kids. They worked full time. My mom was tired when she got home, and I completely understand it because I have 5 kids and I'm tired. But I really wanted to set that example for my kids. They're always watching health and fitness, taking care of your body. It all matters starting at a young age, setting those examples. So when I go out and run, they know, Mom, you're going to go exercise? Like, what exercise are you doing today? And I love that they're seeing that that's a priority because it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and like you said, your older kids, now get to go and experience that with you. And then I know you have some littles still too, who are probably just kind of starting to like grasp that
Mhm.
and share about their recent run.
My little guys, we live in Oak Ridge, so every year they do their own little turkey trot for the elementary school, kindergarten all the way to 5th grade. My 3 big kids all participated in the turkey trot, and now we're starting with this next generation. They both went out at 5 and 7 years old and completed their race. And my littlest dude, he is pretty cool. He was in the top 10 of the boys that came through for kindergarten.
Which is wild.
And they're so proud to be like, we went out and ran this race. I mean, he ran, I want to say it was a half a mile, a quarter to a half a mile. It wasn't a huge distance, but when you're 5, those little legs, they can't take you very far. And
Yeah.
so proud of himself to say that he finished that race. And hopefully I'll get them out when it warms up and start working them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, what a fun way to get some energy out, right? And like, I love that you're setting that example for them, especially so young. And, they're already feeling that big sense of accomplishment when they've gone out and done this thing. Like, oh my gosh, look at how far I ran. So that's so amazing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so talk us through when you started running all these 5Ks, when you decided to have your first time goal, and when you decided, I wonder if I could go a little bit further than 5K.
Let's see. So I had to write my notes down.
Okay.
So I decided to get back to really committing to running, um, and started the Couch to 5K with my Run Tracker app. And my first run was August 7th of 2004 with that program. I think that 8 to 10 week
Mm-hmm.
Couch to 5K plan, something like that, building on intensity each run. So it took me from August 7th to December 4th of 2024. And then I transitioned from there to the 10K program. Because
Mm.
what's after the 5K is the 10K. And I started that January 3rd, and it took me to June 29th. I can tell you, I didn't stick to it very solidly. I would, just do those runs as I had the time to do those runs. And in that time frames, I think at Pure Bar, there was a flyer or something for your newsletter, and I
Mm.
started following that. And then you talked about starting your podcast. And I am really big on we need to support our peoples because you are doing something great and we need to help other people do great things. So I started listening to your podcast. I've listened to every episode,
Oh.
and it was your episode. It was number 14, August 12th. So I did my 5K first run August 7th, and August 12th, you talked to Kevin Fitzgerald.
Wow.
And he's amazing. The most impressive overcomer story to have gone through what he did and then qualify to run Boston. And my thought is if he could do that, he could have this horrible accident and recover, then I need to continue pushing because if he can do it, I can do it. Right. So then I'm following along and switching to my 10K. And then you had episode 30.
Mm.
You can run a half marathon. And I was kind of thinking like maybe that'd be a cool goal to set for myself. I had talked about it in September. I remember having this conversation with my son's girlfriend's dad, because he's a big runner, distance runner, that, hey, I think I want to run a half marathon. And he's like, that's cool. That's great. Yeah, you should. And, you can train. And then Haven Quinton's like, if you want to run a half marathon, you can. I'm like, okay. Well, I guess that's going to be the goal then. I am going to run a half marathon before I turned 40, because your girl needed some time to on the endurance, and used Chat GPT to build a running program. But it took me till January to get to, or I started in January with my 10K plan. And I was thinking, how on earth am I going to run a half marathon if I can't even like solidly commit to this 10K program. It all takes goals. And then I did. I asked you an opinion on which half would be good in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew I wanted plenty of time to train. And we set the goal of the bluegrass half. And I knew that if I didn't like sign up and commit to it, that I could push it out. It'll be fine. I'll maybe get there. On April 30th, I signed up for the Johnson City Bluegrass Half. And it was at dinner for my son's 21st birthday. And I looked at him and said, for your birthday, I signed up for this half marathon. From that point, from April 30th, I was fully committed to my training to run that half. And I did it.
Yeah, you did.
It was pretty cool.
It's very cool. And I love that you gave like that story for so many people listening. There are so many pros, but also so many cons of social media. And I think a lot of times people aren't sharing the journey, right? Maybe they're doing the work privately and then like, boom, they do something big and crazy. And everyone's like, whoa, what? And like, obviously, to each their own. Not everyone wants to broadcast their whole lives on social media. But I think it can be really discouraging for people who aren't seeing like how long it can take sometimes to get to this big goal and how much work you're putting in behind the scenes, and maybe like that it's not linear. You're getting through this 5K couch to 5K program, then you want to do the couch to 10K. As you mentioned, you're like, maybe I'm faltering on that a little bit. I'm feeling like I'm having these thoughts of how the heck am I ever going to be able to do this? So it's not, it's not just this straight path of like, oh, I'm doing the 5K, then I'm doing the 10K, like perfectly the whole time. But you stayed committed to that goal. You realized like, I need something set in stone for myself. So like, that's such good self-awareness for people who are listening. Like maybe that's something that they need to do if they have this goal, is to like, pick a date and actually commit to it. And you put like money towards this race registration. So you're like, I've got skin in the game now. And that was kind of like the thing that kicked you off to really pushing to accomplish such a big thing.
Yeah, that deadline. Like,
Yeah.
to be able to do this by that deadline. And it worked out where that April 30th date to the run was pretty solid 12 weeks. And I was like, okay, so this starts on Monday. I have to commit to fully accomplishing this training schedule. And I can tell you, I was incredibly consistent with those runs and the cross training. I can't even think, I should have looked back to when we started working together to
Mm-hmm.
help get to that goal.
Yeah,
Because
it was sometime in the summer. I don't remember the exact date. I should have looked as well.
I think I had already started
Mm-hmm.
that 12-week
Yeah, I think so.
plan. But I can tell you, those 12 weeks there, it's not easy. I mean, I trained during the summer,
Oh, yeah.
hot and hard. And there were many days where I thought I could hardly make it 2 miles. How am I going to run 13?
Yeah.
That seems impossible.
Yeah. But it's like what's the saying? Like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? It's like the run, like one step at a time, one foot in front of the other.
Day by day, we worked through every single run. I am so lucky that my daughter committed to running with me. She did not train the way I did. She's young. She didn't have to. But it was really nice to have her. I could be like, well, today I've got a long run and it's 9 miles. And are you going to join me for any of it? And she would or she wouldn't. But after I was done, I'd be able to show her my app and how many miles I went and what my um, pace was. And she would cheer me on. And that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Like bringing it back to the family component and like having somebody to experience the highs and the lows with. And when you're struggling, hopefully they're not and they can cheer you along and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Didn't get to do something romantic with your Valentine on Valentine's Day? Well, don't sweat it. I have the perfect belated Valentine's idea for you. Give the gift of a couples massage at Avoda Massage Therapy in Columbia, South Carolina. These limited sessions are the perfect way to slow down and reconnect just the two of you. Choose a 60 or 90-minute massage fully customized to your needs, whether you want deep relaxation, gentle stress relief, or a blend of both. This is self-care you can share. So, this Valentine's season, give a gift that shows you care, time, connection, and relaxation together. Book your couples massage today at Avoda Massage Therapy in Columbia, South Carolina, or learn more at avodamassagetherapy.com. Talk us through a little bit more about what the half marathon training looked like. What did your weeks look like when you were training leading up to that? What were some of the moments that stand out to you that you were like, whoa, like I can't believe I did that? And then the ones that you were like, oh my God, like this is the worst.
I built my plan specifically around my work schedule. I work 4 10s, so my time is limited. I ran Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, did a long run every Saturday, a recovery run on Sundays, and an easy. I don't even know the difference between an easy and a recovery because they both feel the same. Um, my long runs on Saturday had to be first thing in the morning. I tried to get out as early as possible because the majority of my training was throughout the summer. My run was the end of September. And after 10 o'clock, it's way too hot to be running. And
Mm-hmm.
the best part is, so I'd run an extra mile every Saturday. It'd be a mile longer. And I remember getting my first 6 mile done and thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just did 6 miles. And then I'd do 7 and then I'd do 8. And every time I'd be like, I just made this huge goal of running 8 miles. I've never run 8 miles in my life. I'm so cool. I ran this distance and it just kept stacking on to being a celebration every Saturday. But I can tell you, my first 9 mile run, that was hard. It
Yeah.
was probably the hardest run I've had. Felt really good up until like 6.
Mm.
You know, had to think about 7, and then Anna was with me for most of that. She got to, I think she got 7.5, and then she had to meet somebody for, I don't know, dance or whatever. Um, And she's like, okay, well, are we done? I'm like, actually, no, because we're at 7.5. And what is that? Just another mile and a half till I'm done. And I am stronger than this will to be quitting. Like, it's a mile and a half. You don't
Mm,
quit on a mile and a half to go. And I pushed through. It was hard.
yeah.
It was ridiculously hard. I got through it, got to mile 9, thought I was going to vomit, had to call Anna. I'm like, I still have to walk home a half a mile. I don't think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to pass out in this person's yard. And my lovely child's like, wouldn't that be hilarious if you just passed out right there?
Oh, geez.
No, that wouldn't be funny. I did make it home because I'm here today. I
Yes.
lived on my living room floor with my legs up on the couch for half an hour trying to recover from that 9 miles.
Yeah.
But the next week I did 10 and I was fine.
Yeah.
So it's just it definitely is a flow
Mm-hmm.
when they're easy, when they're hard. The hard's going to be hard. But is it the hardest thing you've ever done?
And what a good question to ask yourself in that time where your mind is trying to tell you everything it can think of to get your body to stop. Like, oh my gosh, this hurts. This is the worst. You're gonna die. You're gonna pass out. You're gonna throw up. This is the worst thing in the world. So to be able to have that like mental clarity and strength to ask yourself, but is it the hardest thing you've
Right.
done? You know, like you've think about everything you've accomplished, all the crazy things that life has thrown at you that you've gotten through, like you can get through that as well.
And then life throws you curveballs. And I ended up injured 2 weeks before the actual half
Mm-hmm.
with a plantar fascia strain and posterior tibial tendonitis. And I had to take, it must have been 3 weeks before because I took a full 2 weeks off with no
Mm-hmm.
runs to try and recover. And that's hard because you know that you have these goals. You know that you need the consistent training in order to feel comfortable, but it hurts so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you not give up? And that was, yeah, makes me emotional because that was a huge curveball to have to try and overcome and not feel like you'd failed yourself because your body is telling you you can't do something.
Yeah, which is such a challenge. And you're not alone in that. Like, there's been, so many people get injured when they have big goals, whether they don't make it to the start line, whether they start and they don't make it to the finish line, whether training gets interrupted from one thing or another. And I think you handled it so well. Instead of sitting around and sulking about it, you went into problem solving mode and you're like, okay, what can I do to support my body to get through this?
Right. So it's a foot injury. So I went and saw the podiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
Did twice a week laser ultrasound, no laser therapy on the injured area. Followed all the directions, the anti-inflammatories, the topical gels, rested it, iced it 3 times a day just to get to the start line. And the week before, I did, I think, 2 short runs. I managed to get through
Mm-hmm.
3 miles and feel comfortable. It was excruciatingly painful afterwards, but it was enough to get to the start line. And KT tape was a huge support
Mm-hmm.
during my run. And I was not going to let my foot dictate what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in charge, not my.
Well, and I also love that you took it seriously, right? I think a lot of us sometimes can like try to ignore if we're having like some pain because we don't want it to derail our plans or our goals, but you took it seriously right when you started having the pain. You went to the doctor, you got the dry needling, you got the PT, we worked together of different gear that you could use to help support you, different modalities you could use to rest better. And I think that is also something important to point out for people is like you weren't running through the pain and making the injury worse. You
Right.
were like taking the steps that you needed to, working with all the different professionals that you needed to like rehab your body as quickly as you could, and that you did get the green light, like caveat from your doctor saying like you could do this race.
Yeah, that was like the number one thing. I'm like, this is my goal. We're almost there. I need to know what I can do between now and then to do this. And he's like, I am not going to tell you you can't run, but you have to listen to the amount of pain you're in. And if you're in a high pain level, then you need to pull back. But I'm not telling you can't, which is good. I very much appreciated his support on, no, you can't do that. And see how you feel kind of aspect.
Yeah.
And we just went and did it.
Yeah. Okay. So take us to race day. How are you feeling like night before or morning of?
So the night before, my race was on a Sunday. Saturday was college football day. So I was at Maryville College for my son's football game and told him, I love you. Game's over. I got to go. I got a 2-hour drive to Johnson City. My daughter was cleared to run with me. She was post-injury as well with ACL surgery. Congrats to her for getting through that.
Yeah.
We drove to Johnson City, went to Olive Garden, and had a very pasta-filled dinner.
Love it.
Loved our pasta night. Got to the hotel and checked in, got our stuff all set up. I am so thankful that my daughter's friend is a student at ETSU, so she picked up our packets for us. We didn't have to get up early to get them. There was no stress. She met us at the hotel with our shirts and our bib numbers, and we got all of our stuff set up. It was very cute. We had our gels packed. We had our hydrate, electrolytes packed up. Everything was set and ready to go. So when we got up race morning, all we had to do was get dressed. It was so fun. I mean, and we spent a good hour the night before the race. My daughter and I, she helped me set up my first Spotify. I'm a Pandora person. It's just where I'm from and my generation. I've never ventured out of that.
Yeah.
Like, you need Spotify. So we set up it's my running playlist is over 5 hours.
Love it.
Late 90s, early 2000s, hip hop, club music with great beats. It was very fun. She kept looking at me. She's like, what are you listening to? What are you doing on there? And it is everything from Tupac to Shakira, a whole mix of stuff in between. And it's great. I still love my playlist. I listen to that every time I run now.
I love it.
We did not get to bed as early as I had hoped, but that's okay. We slept great. The bed at the hotel we stayed at was amazing. Had a perfect night's sleep. Most people would have some nerves and wake up. I was out cold. I slept the entire night. Woke up feeling great. Taped up my whole foot. Got some good support, and we loaded up in the car to head out to the start line. A little bit stressful figuring out where to park to get the best easy walk to the start line. And it was still dark out. It was really pretty and quiet and beautiful, and just a great start to our race morning.
Pregnancy, motherhood, and modern life place incredible demands on a woman's body, especially on her nervous system. Foundation of Stone Pediatric and Perinatal Family Chiropractic in Knoxville, Tennessee, helps women and families create a solid foundation for health from the very beginning. Through gentle, nervous system-focused chiropractic care, they support moms through pregnancy, babies through growth and development, and families looking for a proactive approach to their health. Instead of guessing, they use advanced insight scans to understand how the nervous system is responding to stress and how it can function more efficiently. I've known the owner, Dr. Brittany Rohr, since high school and would recommend her to anyone in Knoxville looking for family-centered whole body care. Visit tnkidschiro.com to learn more about Dr. Brittany and Foundation of Stone Pediatric and Perinatal Family Chiropractic. Once you got there, you guys got on the start line in your cute little matching outfits, which I'm so obsessed with. Talk us through, like, you don't have to do mile by mile. I know it's been a little bit. This is September. You don't have to remember like each specific mile, but maybe kind of like chunks of the race, like how you were feeling, what was around you.
We were a little upset because we could not get anything to eat before the race. The hotel breakfast bar did not open early enough for us, so we were a little frustrated. The line for the bathroom was a little long, and I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to have to go get in line and get ready and just deal with it and use the bathroom on the run. That's fine. So we shifted into our start line, set ourselves up behind the 2:30 pacer because that was my goal, to get to a finish of 2:30. They did the national anthem, was beautiful. Bluegrass music on a fiddle. It was just honestly probably the best moment, I think, because it was still dead quiet. You could hear just a little bit of the birds chirping. The sun hadn't completely come up. And I'm just like, this is great. It's beautiful. And then we started. The 2:30 pacer was too slow.
Yeah.
For me, which is a crazy thought. So we're going along, and before we reached the first half mile, I was like getting Anna's attention. We need to move. Like, I can't, this is way too slow for me. And I did not start my guns blazing because I know I was already told, hey, you do not shoot off. You're going to want to. The adrenaline's going to get you. But I could tell that the pace was too slow for me. So we worked ourselves up. I did not see another pacer, so I don't know where we transitioned, somewhere between that 25 and 30 mark. At least by mile 2, we were at a very comfortable spot. The crowd had thinned a little bit. But when you go into mile 4, there's a nice hill. It's a short hill. It's a very steep hill. And I don't like hills. They're very hard. Anna, however, is great on hills, and she left me.
So early.
I know. Early on, my partner, I was supposed to do this with, left me. She's fantastic. Just gets her stride, moves on. I'm dying on this hill and have to figure out how to get through it without her, which is good. And I just kind of kept eye on her. We wore a beautiful bright blue, so I could see her very well. We rounded up towards mile 5, and she called me. Like, where are you? Come on. You are 100 yards in front of me. I am not going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. I'll see you when I see you. And she's like, okay, that's fine. I'll wait for you at mile 7 at the bathroom. Okay, that's fine. And I hit a good spot where you're just kind of moving along. You don't really think about a lot. You just see the sights. You listen to your music. Everything was comfortable. Nothing hurt. Because that's something I was very conscious of. Does my foot hurt? And if it's hurting, what do I need to do? Felt good. Passed the first bathroom stop. Saw some guy somewhere between 6 and 7 that I had to cheer for because he was wearing a Minnesota Vikings hoodie. I'm like, he's the best guy ever. Pretty cool. But then we got to mile 7 where my lovely child said she'd be waiting for me, and she wasn't there. She was gone. And then she calls me and she's like, oh, I just want to let you know, I feel fantastic. This is great. I have the ability to do this, and I'm not going to take it for granted. And I didn't stop. Okay.
We love this for Anna. Less for you.
I'll see you later. I guess I'm not stopping either because, I'm making good time and there's 5 people waiting for the bathroom, and I'm just going to keep on going. So I fueled every 3 miles pretty consistently. So at 3 and 6, by mile 7, the bathroom would have been a great idea. But I don't want to pause my app and
Yeah.
stop and wait, and then my time's going to add up. And at that point, I still felt pretty good. When you run that loop for the half, you pass by the dorms for the
Hmm.
college. And it was so great heading towards mile 8. My friend's daughter who picked up the packet had just come out of the dorm and was standing on the corner. And I'm like, it's you! And look at us. She was very excited, which was really fun. She kept her mom updated, like, oh my God, she just passed me.
Yeah.
Just right there outside the dorm. 8 was good. I noticed all of my apps were putting me at my miles before hitting the mile sign, except for
Hmm.
mile 8.
Oh.
It after. It was very strange. After 8, you start looping into lacrosse field or something.
Oh, yeah, like where the intramural fields are.
And that was really cool to see that area. And then you're heading to 9. I felt great, but apparently Anna didn't, because she called me and she was crashing and she was very concerned and said she was feeling a little dizzy and not sure how she was going to finish it. And my mom heart kicked in to where I didn't even know what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention to anything. I'm like, okay, let's talk through this.
Hmm.
It was a great distraction because I got
Yeah.
from 9 to 10 without even knowing that I had done 9 to 10. I don't even remember seeing the sign or getting like, hey, you're at 10 miles. I just knew that I had to focus on her with
Hmm.
the, okay, did you fuel at 9? Have you had your electrolytes? Let's talk through it. And she's
Hmm.
like, oh no, I haven't had any electrolytes.
Well, there you
Why
go.
don't you do that? Like I've been doing that. I thought we like had this whole like we were switching for 3 miles your water, for 3 miles your electrolytes, and we're like if you're fueling here, you need to do this. No, I didn't feel like getting it out of my pouch. So she pretty much had me from mile 10 to the finish concerned.
Yeah.
My focus was not on me and how I felt, it was completely on her. And then mile 10,
Hmm.
and I needed help because mile 10 does not hit until you go up a massive hill
Hmm.
halfway between a bridge.
Hmm.
And I thought I was going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I was tracking you guys. I was tracking you guys from afar because they had the timing mats at like whatever 5K and 10K or whatever the two spots were. So I'm like, okay, she's like making great time. This is amazing. And I mean, I must have texted you right at that point, right?
Um, I don't know. I just know that I text you, I hate hills.
Yeah.
Help me through this.
Yeah.
Like, how on earth? There's still 3 more miles. This was horrible. And you're like, oh, I know exactly where you're at. Don't worry. You're going to take a right and it's going to be great because you're going downhill for a mile.
Yep.
But I still have to get there. And you were so right. I got through that, and it is just a nice gradual decline for a
Hmm.
good solid chunk of time. And I felt better after that hill until I got to mile 12 and you see the sign like, yes, 12. Look at how far I've come. I'm almost done. And
Hmm.
right, and you're going uphill.
Yeah. The end's a
And
bit rough.
was very frustrated and was a little loud at my discontent and said some inappropriate words. And this lovely gentleman, maybe 5 to 10 yards in front of me, looked back at me and laughed. And he's like, well, didn't you look at the map? I'm like, listen, I looked at the race route. I did not look at elevation, not who I am. It was hard to go mile 12 up a hill and then 12 and a half. I truly did not think I was going to be able to complete it. My legs were incredibly heavy. Everything felt really hard. Every step was a monumental effort to get through.
Hmm.
So that 12 and a half to 13 was the hardest part of the entire race.
Hmm.
And you see mile 13 and I knew exactly where I was. We had driven that exact spot to park the car, and that kind of realization of, holy, this is it. I know exactly how far the finish line is from here, and I can, like, that second wind kind of hits you, the
Mhm.
adrenaline of knowing that you've almost finished. And not a few minutes after rounding that corner where 13 is, I saw my husband and our two little boys and
Mhm.
was just thrilled, but then also freaking out because my child Anna wasn't there
Yeah.
and I had to finish. And then I saw the finish line and I burst into tears.
Yeah.
And crossed the finish line bawling and kind of heaving because, you know, you're exerted and you're crying,
Mhm.
and it's very hard to breathe throughout
Mhm.
all of that. But that last stretch, it hit me. I set out with this goal that I've worked on for a year, over a year, that I did not ever think I could accomplish, and crossed that finish line in 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So, what is that, 7 minutes faster than what I
Yeah.
thought I would be capable of doing? My only goal was to not die. I did not have a goal of setting some sort of record. It was literally, don't die.
Yeah.
And I did amazing.
Yeah.
And was so proud of my daughter for accomplishing that too. She ridiculously fast. I think it was what, 2:17 that she finished.
Yeah.
And just having that moment of full accomplishment. Like, I accomplished something nobody else could do for me. Nobody ran those miles for me. Nobody trained all those miles. I did that on my own. And now here I am setting all new goals.
Yeah. Oh man, just listening to hear you. I mean, obviously we've debriefed this before offline, but like hearing you walk everyone through all the steps again is just like it makes me so proud, and you should be so proud of yourself. Like that's a big deal. And like you said, like you decided to do that, and yeah, of course, like you had some runs with your daughter, you had some support crew, but like you did it. No one made you do it, and no one did it for you. And that's something that no one can ever take away from you.
It was pretty cool. So we finished it. I recovered. Um, my foot was excruciatingly painful.
Mm,
Didn't bother me at all throughout the entire run, but when I started walking, it hurt. Tried to calm my breath and recover. We got our medals, we took some pictures, and then I shared it with my mom and my sisters. So I have three sisters. We have a group chat. It's mom, grandma, my three sisters, and my niece. And I sent a picture with us. So Anna and I did something today, and we will forever be half marathoners. And they're like, "What are you talking about? You can't just go do that. You have to train for that. No way." Like, that's, first of all, 13 miles, that's disgusting. And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been training for over a year. I started training in September of last year, and we just accomplished this goal."
so incredible.
They love it. They think it's great. I shared it with my dad, who, love him, didn't quite comprehend how far a half marathon is until he was visiting me a few weeks after. He's like, by the way, I didn't realize until, my stepmom explained to him, like, you realize your daughter and granddaughter, they ran 13 miles.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm real proud of you, kid.
Oh,
I'm so proud that you went out and did it. And I'm more proud of the fact that you went and did it and you didn't advertise
mm,
that you were going to do this thing. It wasn't this huge buildup. You just went and did it."
hmm.
And that's pretty cool. And I'm proud of you and so impressed. And it still feels pretty dang good at 40
Yeah.
when your dad says they're proud of you.
Yeah.
That was probably the cherry of the whole situation, with him telling me that.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Well, and like you want to make him proud, and you're modeling for the next generation with your kids and accomplishing this with your daughter too, which I mean, probably felt like a whole nother level of fun with having it done it with her.
It was, so I love the fact that when I first talked about it, she's like, "Okay, well, I'll do that with you. I'll do it with you if you want me to. I would love for you to, but you don't have to. And then she hurt herself.
Mm-hmm.
In January this year, she tore her ACL.
Mm-hmm.
And in April, she had full reconstructive surgery and was so disappointed that we had set this goal and she couldn't do this run. And then she started getting better and she did her rehab and she did the PT and she's like, I can run. I'm telling you, I can run. I still want to do this with you. Please let me do it with you. And I told her, if your orthopedist tells you you can run, then fine. But he has to say it's okay. I'm not going to let you do this and him not be okay. And he's like, yeah, it's just running. Not allowed to do is pivot, and you're not going to pivot when you're running. So yeah, she's fine. It's 13 miles, Doc. Are you sure? Yeah, absolutely. He's like, she is just fine to go out and run. And she killed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No kidding.
That makes me proud that my child at 17 chose to put in this kind of effort. But the fact that she has overcome such a significant injury and still put in the effort to do it. And she was first place in her age group.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
So cool. I told her I have to put that on her college applications. Like,
Yeah, of course.
marathoner as well.
Yeah, no big deal.
That's great. It shows dedication.
Absolutely, it does. And like that she can bounce back from a setback and, have that mental strength to want to keep going towards the goal is so incredible.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know people who are listening right now are going to be just so fired up to go and lace up their shoes and get out on the run. So, for people listening, maybe they've never run a race before, or maybe, they've done a few 5Ks, but they're kind of thinking about that next goal. What's some words of encouragement or advice that you would give them?
Start small and work towards a reasonable goal. I didn't decide in July I was going to go run a half marathon and do it in 2 weeks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a true thing to follow. So start small, set those goals, and just achieve each one. Because once you achieve it, you can set a new one.
I love it. And what's next on the horizon for you?
So my big one was getting my 5K under 29 minutes. We're almost at under 29. 29:09 was my last 5K time. So working on that one. And I'm going to decide how many races I want to run in 26. One of them is definitely going to be a half marathon set for April.
We love to see it.
I did 5 races in 25. So how many can I pull off in 26?
I want to wrap us up with some running rapid fire. You ready?
I am.
Morning or evening run?
Morning.
Running watch or no watch?
Watch.
Headphones or no headphones?
I wear the Shocks.
Good ones.
Have to have my music. Absolutely.
Okay, that was going to be the next one. Music or podcast?
Fully music, but I did do some of my training runs in Canada over the summer and couldn't get my music to work. So I did podcasts, and that actually is pretty nice too.
Kind of feels like a little combo,
It does. It does distract you a lot more because you were really paying attention to what's being said.
Yeah. Solo run or group run?
I have never done a group run except for with Anna, which is a lot of fun. I don't know. Group runs kind of scare me, but they might be good. That's on my list of goals this year, group runs.
Yes. I can't wait to hear how you think about them. And speed work or long run?
Speed work is torture, but so are long runs. I do them both because I know they make me better.
There you go. That's a good note to end on then, right? They both make you stronger. And so even on those days, you might not want to get out and lace up the shoes. You're going to be happy you got it done.
I did this on Sunday or Saturday. I was in Kentucky, had 5 hours I had to kill. So I went out and ran at the Arboretum and it was cold. It was in the 30s and my entire life was saying, don't do this. This is going to be terrible. You are going to hate this. After a mile, I felt great. I put in 5 miles. Everything was fine. Just go and do it. It makes you feel better.
Samantha, it was so much fun just getting to chat today and just yap about running. It's my favorite way to chat. So thank you so much for joining. For people who want to follow along for your next run or your next race, where can they find you online?
Instagram's where I post most of all my running stuff. SRO Berven on Instagram. I should probably start like a whole dedicated page to it. We'll see what maybe a marathon by 45.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. Thank you, Samantha.
You're welcome. Thanks, Haven.
I hope you guys found Samantha's story inspiring and motivating. I'm so glad she found her inspiration in Kevin Fitzgerald's Health by Haven podcast episode number 14 and the solo episode You Can Run a Half Marathon number 30. Be sure to go back and give those a listen for some running inspiration. I just loved working with Samantha and coaching her to her first half marathon. She not only achieved her goal, but she absolutely smashed it by nearly 8 minutes. And if running has been on your mind lately, whether you haven't run since childhood, you want to improve your 5K time, or you want to run your first half or full marathon, I'd love to help you reach your goals. Reach out to me at hello@healthbyhaven.com or follow the link in the show notes to explore how we can work together to make your running dreams a reality. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Health by Haven podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give the show a 5-star rating and leave a review. It makes such a huge difference in reaching new people and spreading the joy of healthy living. I would also be so appreciative if you subscribe to the show in the listening app of your choice so you never miss an episode. Your support truly means the world to me. Have a happy, healthy day, and I'll talk to you again soon.